Good morning, sweet friends. Hey, y'all, we're in that season of the year. We're going to be baking, making salads, making desserts, making cheese balls. And today, I'm going to make broccoli salad. I've already washed this, but what I want to show you is this. These are Priester's pecans. Right here. And this is where I get my pecans, is Priester's. They're picking them right now. The pecans are falling off the tree. They're picking them up, and they're getting them all ready. And this, I like this size box too, because I put this in my freezer, and what you do is this. Now, these are the chopped ones. Let me show you. And so, this is what I use to go on top of my cheese balls. I'm going to put it in this broccoli salad today, because that recipe calls for it. And in a few days, I'm going to be making my orange slice cake, and it takes a lot of that. So, and cookies for Thanksgiving and Christmas. So, I suggest buying this. Now, remember, I keep mine in the freezer because I use them like this thing will last a long time. So, I keep them in there so they won't get stale or rancid. And then I just reach my hand in there and get out what I want. And this one right here, I don't know if y'all have ever tried this one or not. This is your praline, and instead of putting like this in your cookies, of course I put that in my cookies too, but sometimes I put the praline in the cookies and it gives a whole different flavor. And like if you're making a cheese ball, it does the same thing for that too. So you can go to Priester's and order these. They'll come right to your door, and hey, it's a good price, and you will love them, and they're fresh and good because they're just now picking them up. All right, so let's get on with our cheese ball. I mean our broccoli salad. What am I talking about? I'm going to a function, and it's a big function, so I'm making a big salad. I bought 2 of those things of broccoli. The first thing I'm going to do after I wash them is you can't get that in your mouth. So what I do is I go on the back side of my broccoli and just cut little bitty pieces like this. And so I'm going to do this whole thing like that so that they're bite size like that, okay? Okay, y'all, pulled my hair back so I could get busy. And my house seemed cold this morning. I'm finished with chopping up my broccoli. And let's go on to the next step. Okay, now we're going to put in our bacon. Now, I'm going to put more than I'm supposed to because I'm making a bigger thing. And if you want to make it along with me, it's in our second cookbook under sides. And it's, golly bum, I wish I could see, $2.29. The reason I can't see is I need to have my contacts removed. So I fixed to fry some bacon up to go in it. We're going to chop it up real little. What I do, y'all, is I chop mine up ahead of time. But now you can fry it whole and then chop it up. That's just up to you. Whatever way you want to do it. The next step is we're going to cut up a big red onion. Now don't put any other kind in it. This is the best. And then we're going to get 2 cups of our pecans. And you do not have to toast these if you don't want to, and I don't want to. I'm going to leave them just like this to go in mine. And sometimes when I do my cheese balls, I'll cut these up even a little bit more. I'm going to do a whole cup in there because it calls for a half a cup. And I'm going to do a whole one because I'm kind of doubling my recipe. So if you want yours a little smaller than this, just put it down on the counter and do it. But I want it this size. Oh, it's going to be so good and good for us. I'm excited. I had some people from the north to come down, and they said, what are those orchards out there with all those big fat trees in it? I said, those are pecans. And they said they couldn't grow them where they live. But anyway, you don't have to. You can get them from Priester's. All right, here we go. Now we're frying our bacon over here, which I turned it down too low. But it's frying. And let's get that done. In the meantime, let's cut up our onion. And we want it in skinny slivers. So I'm going to cut off the top of it and the bottom of it. Then I'm going to cut it in half. And if there's any of that old peeling part out on the back, I'm going to get it off. And there it is. Right there it is. You know, Indians and artists, they use this peeling for their dyes back when. But you could dye fabric with it, and during the olden times, my hair looks awful, but hey, I'm going to fix it before I go to the function. It's clean, I can say that. All right, so when you're cutting your onion, do it extremely thin like this. You want little thin slivers in it. I'll show you what I'm saying. When you separate it, that way you got little thin pieces like that, okay? And you can cut that in half one more time if you had desire to, just like one time. And that way it's thin and it's also in little strips like that, okay? All right, we've got our onions cut up. This is one onion. The recipe calls for a half. But like I say, I'm making for a crowd. So I'm trying to double everything. So if you're doing this for Thanksgiving or Christmas, let me say that it is wonderful. It is absolutely wonderful. Now we're going to put in our raisins while our bacon's cooking. And I don't know how much it calls for. I think a half a cup. Let me look. Yep. So I'm going to put in a little more than a half because I've got so much. Y'all, this combination, it is so good when you get that bacon on there and all the good stuff that's in it. You got the crunch of the pecans, the crunch of the broccoli, the softness of this, and also that dressing that we're fixing to make. It is fabulous. All right, let's mix that up. Boy, we're making a nice little pile of this, aren't we? Okay, let's let our bacon cook, and in the meantime, we'll make our dressing. Okay, our bacon is ready, and so I'm going to just take it up, and I'm going to put it on top of this paper towel that I've been getting the grease out. So it wouldn't get all over the kitchen. I'm going to sit it back on top of this pan to drain. It's got some good bacon grease in here if y'all want to make you some gravy. If you got any bit leftover biscuits. All right, there's our bacon, and see, it helps when you have it already cut up because then you hadn't got to cut it up later. I'm going to spread this out, let it cool a little bit on this thing. Just sit it back here. Uh-oh. There we go. All right, let's let that cool slowly. I got to have one piece of it. I don't know who invented broccoli salad, but whoever it was, thank you so much. Because I love that stuff. All right, now let's make our dressing. Y'all, I'm just going to make one recipe of the dressing so you can see. But when I turn this video off, I'm going to make another recipe. Because I'm going to need it for how much I've got going over here. Take you 1 cup of mayonnaise. Do not, whatever you do not use salad dressing. It will ruin it. Don't use salad dressing. You do it just like I'm showing you. You want 1 cup. I wish I had me a cracker right now. I'd eat me a mayonnaise cracker. I love those. I grew up on mayonnaise crackers. I'm telling you, I did. I grew up on them. I love those things. I would take 2 soda crackers. And you know how they got the holes all in the top? Well, I would put mayonnaise, a bunch of mayonnaise in it, And then what I did is I'd squash them together, and that mayonnaise would come out through those holes, and I'd lick it off. All right, you got 1 cup of mayonnaise, 1/2 cup of sugar. And then we're going to put in our vinegar, and that's it. That's it. And it is the best dressing. And what I would suggest, we're going to put 3 tablespoons of this. What I would suggest is this. When you're making this for Thanksgiving, don't put the dressing on it. Make the dressing, but don't put it on it. Just go ahead and make your broccoli salad and then put it in the refrigerator. And then make your dressing separately. And right before you serve it, put your dressing on it. Because if you put it on too soon, it'll get soggy in there and it just won't be good. And if you're making it just for yourself and your spouse, all right, there's my third one. What I suggest is this. Make it and don't put this on until you eat it each time. It'll last, oh Lord, a long time. All right, here's the consistency. It is so good. Y'all are going to love it. And so we're going to just take our broccoli salad and we're going to put our bacon in it. Like that. Put as much as you want to. And we're going to just flip it around in there like that. And then I'm going to put it in a container and put it in the refrigerator. And right before I serve it, I'm going to put this over it. And it's going to be so good. So, y'all get you some pecans, get you some Priesters, and use those pecans for cover your cheese balls with. You know you're going to make some cookies and you're going to need them, and a cake, a pie, pecan pie. Now, if you're doing a pecan pie, what I do is this. Some people use the whole halves. See, these are whole in there. The whole halves. They're not broken up. This is good for like making toasted pecans. But when I make a pecan pie, I like the ones in this. I want mine crumbled up, and I actually stir my pecans in with my pie, and they float to the top. And they're easy to cut like that if you do it. All right, so that's it on this. And so get in the spirit, start baking and making, and we're going to have a great Thanksgiving and a great Christmas. Love y'all. Bye-bye.